again, everybody. It's Todd Staruch, the Horror Nerd, here at New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival in Edison, New Jersey. It's the first day of the con, and as always, I am having a blast. I get to meet so many cool and interesting people when I do these shows, and we have an awesome Goosebumps reunion at this event, and I am thrilled to be sitting here with one of the stars of Goosebumps, Kathryn Long. Kathryn, how are you?
Hi, good. Hi, everyone.
So, first of all, thanks again for the awesome panel that we did. That was a lot of fun. So my first question for you one-on-one is, does it surprise you that you're here and that people are coming now after all these years that still have an interest in this show and meeting you?
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. It is a wonderful surprise. I remember doing conventions when I was much younger for a vampire show that I was on called Forever Night. Mm-hmm. So I knew they existed. I knew there was a big fan base for horror. But I figured with Goosebumps it may take a while because the fan base was quite young, and now they've all grown up. So here we are. Yeah.
Listen, you'd be surprised, especially now. I see that people are starting out in horror, like younger and younger. Like when I see kids running around in Chucky costumes, I'm like,
There's been a couple of kids. There's been a couple of Annabelles walking around, and those kids are in full character. Like, they're fully committed. Yeah. Yeah.
So as a kid, before you were cast on the show, were you into the R.L. Stine books?
Yes. I had all the books. You know, you would have the Scholastic Book Fair that would come to your school, and so I did have many of the books. And then after I got the episode, my mom went and bought the whole thing. So we had them, and I have R.L. Stine signed a bunch of mine. So yeah, it was a big experience reading the books first.
That is very cool. that must have been sort of a dream come true. Then you get cast.
Yeah, I was very excited. I was very excited that I knew I was auditioning for Goosebumps. I just didn't know which episode. So at the audition, all of the kids knew we were auditioning for the series, but did not know in what order they were going to do the episodes. So I did not know it was going to be The Haunted Mask at the time that I auditioned. So,
okay. Yeah. So were you like yes, or was there a different book that you were hoping to get?
No, I mean, I think that one was a great book. I'd have to really think back. I feel like Tower of Terror was always a fun one. Night of the Living Dummy for sure. Those, and then of course the Slappy episode, and so those books stood out to me. But I was happy it was The Haunted Mask because the script was really well done and the characters were great. And yeah, I mean, I can't complain. It was a great first episode.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, ventriloquist dummy is not my thing.
No, me neither. I saw Poltergeist very young, and so the clown in Poltergeist really freaked me out. But I think part of me was like, it'd be fun to be in an episode that had a dummy or a doll like that to get over the fear. I thought that'd be interesting, but I never haven't.
Yeah, no, me either. So we talked briefly before we started on camera. Pay no attention to the people walking by right now at all, trying to distract me and succeeding. We just talked briefly about, how when we were kids, you saw something when it was on, and then you had to wait for a rerun.
Yes.
Hopefully. How do you feel like now the advent of streaming has changed everything and brought Goosebumps to a whole new audience?
Sure. Well, I think actually what I hear the most, ironically, is a lot of people coming up to me with their kids and saying, we still watch the VHS. Or they have it on, you can watch it on YouTube and stuff too, but a lot of the people have stuck to the old format with Goosebumps, I think, and just rewatched their VHS to death. But definitely the on-demand, you can just see so much more material now. Like we were talking before, content is just so oversaturated. There's so much content out there now. Whereas back in our day, if you missed it at 7 p.m. on a Friday, you missed it. You had to get home to rush to record it. So I think there's just more out there for kids to watch now, and horror has expanded. There's horror for all ages now, like for little kids all the way up to, there's so many movies out right now. It's a huge deal.
Oh, yeah.
It's really having a big comeback right now. But back in the day, there wasn't as much variety, so everyone was kind of watching the same stuff. So I think that's why everyone did watch Goosebumps, because it was the only thing for kids out then that was really like that. Yeah, so.
And it was the only thing kind of creepy, So I'm a little older. Like by the time in the mid '90s, I was already graduated college. I was working or whatever. But I knew a lot of I have younger siblings that
Sure.
were into it. And it was horror that was sort of kid friendly. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Whereas today, I see little kids watching the most horrible things. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
when did that happen?
I feel like, just kids nowadays are much more desensitized to TV in general because they have more access to, more material online, which, is parent controlled to a point. But back then it wasn't the same, of course. Yeah. The kids didn't have access to stuff like that. So Goosebumps was like, oh, that's scary. That's different.
See, so growing up, and again, I'm old, so I remember when cable TV first became a thing, right? Parents did have that control. Now, 12-year-olds have smartphones, and could literally, you can't always control that, so it's a little scary.
They make as many apps as possible to help parents have those controls, but the digital age is definitely a whole new beast, for sure.
It is. So, just a couple more questions, and then I'll leave you be. I love asking this about people who acted in any sort of horror genre. Are you yourself a fan of horror films?
Oh my goodness. I am sad to report that I am such a wimp when it comes to horror. I remember seeing Blair Witch Project in the theater, and I honestly covered my eyes the majority of the movie because the suspense just kills me. I love suspense movies, but the horror, like the gory stuff, I can't stomach it. I know some people, I'm fascinated by the artistic side of it. Like if I was behind the set and seeing it, I would be like, that's so cool. But seeing it on the screen, I can't. It's too much. So scary.
That's funny. I always get about 50-50.
Sure.
Like people say love horror movies, and then there's like, it's a gig. I get it's a gig.
It's different when you're
Right.
on set versus in the theater being watching it. But being on set, I would be desensitized. I would be fine. But as a viewer, audience member, I'm a chicken. Sorry, folks. Yeah.
Fair enough. At least you admit it.
As self-admittedly. Yeah.
And some people are like, I'm at a horror convention. Can I even say that?
No, I will. I will admit. Yes, I'm not as brave as everyone here.
All right. One last question, Kathryn.
Sure.
If there was one piece of advice you could give a young up-and-coming actor or actress who wants to break into the business, what piece of advice would you give them?
Oh, wow. I think breaking into the film industry it looks very different today. I know that back in our day, in the 90s, there was, again, no digital age, so you would audition in person. You had to know how to come in and work a room and introduce yourself to the producers and have all your lines memorized on the spot and do it live. And now a lot of auditions are done over video and over Zoom and other things, or you make a video and you send it in. So there's an impersonal nature of auditioning now that I think that kids don't learn the art of networking as much and being personal in a room with directors and producers. So I would encourage kids to really learn how to be conversationalists and be personable, because I think the actual art of auditioning and being in film is similar but very different now. It's kind of removed. You don't really meet people in person as much. So being motivated to do your own auditions and doing good work is a little different than it used to be because you're not doing it in person as much. So that is an element that has changed. So if you're thinking of getting into film, get a good coach who helps you learn how to make good audition videos, and but also know how to communicate and be a good communicator when you're meeting people and show your personality and just be really good speaking with adults. Yeah.
I love it. That's a great answer. Appreciate it. Kathryn, thank you so much for a few minutes of your time.
For sure.
It really is a thrill for me, speaking as a fan, to get to meet people who have been in these projects that I've loved my whole life.
For sure. It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you for being a part of it.
And thanks for all the fans who came out to this event and for watching. Thank you.
Kathryn Long, everybody from Goosebumps here at New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival. I'm Todd Struch, the Horror Nerd, signing off. We will see all of you in the next interview.